she is keeping an eye out on the stuff that's happening in the caravan. Setup is kind of happening right now. The laborers are working on it. She's milling around, making sure things go pretty smoothly for that. So you find her pretty easily.
Yes. Well, as quietly as possible so the other locals can't hear it, I'll ask if she could arrange for me to examine Limamel, see if there's anything I can do for her health-wise, anything she needs.
She nods to you and excuses herself from the people working and then takes you towards where the tent that you all found earlier was. So it's...
We go to where the tent pretends to not be.
There you go! That's actually a good way of saying it.
And was that all of us?
I'll go. Sounds fun.
Yeah, because I wanted to bring all this information back. Like I said, I don't know much about mages and the Mage Guild, but...
Okay. So if it's all heading that way then, you would meet up then, I'd imagine, on the road when you're done with your respective things and head towards that, laying in the tent and what have you.
Sounds good.
This time when you come in, there's actually different drinks waiting for you. A variety of them in front of, depending on what your preferences would have been, like what you would have asked for, had she asked you for a drink, that's already sitting in front, like waiting in your spots to sit at various chairs around the room. And she just hands Langla a tea. You are being received properly.
Well, that's very nice. That's not rude.
She knew you were coming
It's
this
quite
time.
nice.
Yeah.
So, and she's just sitting in her chair after she returns to her chair after doing that. As kind of sits there and looks to you and welcome, be welcomed.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's very kind.
I trust you have been given my name now. She just kind of looks at Langley. She doesn't look angry or like that. In fact, there's no tone to her voice for that. She's just like... Mel just kind of looks and it's like, it's a given. You know.
Yeah. There's no reason to be so secretive about such things.
If you know about us, then you know what I do for Faun's Heart. I was going to offer to examine you, if you like, see if there's anything I could do for you health-wise.
Of course, healer. You may. Do I need to stand for this, or is sitting fine?
That's an interesting question you've just proposed there, Jalen. I don't actually know. I suppose for the full thing, there'd be a whole standing business, but you probably don't want to do it in front of everyone else.
I am far too old to care at this point. It is more likely they do not wish me to do it in front of everybody else. She is the old that just doesn't give a shit anymore. She does look to that. If you wish to do so, though, I will let you examine me while I'm sure, since you are all here, you must all have questions that you wish answered now.
Sure. Yes.
She stands for Valia and then just waits with the rest of you.
I do what I can in the face of the awkwardness. Also, I have the distinct impression that this is... I feel... out of character, I feel like I'm examining one of the Golden Girls now. Especially with the old that doesn't give a fuck. Like, this is Sophia with pointed ears type of thing.
This might be more closer to Estelle. But she does look well for her age. Like, I mean, she's still an elf. She still looks well for her age. It's like Cher. Anyway. But...
Well, Cher is also about 2,000 years old.
There you go.
True.
That's kind of why I use that reference. But while that's happening, yeah, she's waiting for you guys to either ask her questions or as you wanted to report your findings or what have you.
I'm just going to report my findings to her about the Mages Guild and that I didn't hear much about the town other than don't cross it. Don't cross the Mages Guild. I don't know if she knew about the prince. Would it be the prince?
Oh. Well.
Yeah, that.
Well, that's what she goes, oh. Hmm. They might be...
Did you know about the Mages Guild?
I knew of all the guild. I did not know the politics were getting so bad between them. I usually don't pay attention to anything that we don't need to be immediately concerned with. Therefore, Crestwood had not crossed my thing until this started happening that we'd be going there. And then, of course, this happened. As for the prince, I did not know even that was happening. I try to keep out of news and things like that. It's why Langla, also, forgive her, doesn't let many politics and things like that enter Fawn's heart, for it might muddle and affect telling the future properly in a way that we can actually use. If I hear something happening, I might just use that instead. She might suspect. She just kind of looks at Langla at that, like, you keep me away from information so I don't use it for other information. Like, it's that whole cold reading thing, even though, she really has no need to.
Would the Mages Guild know about you in any way?
I confess I have no clue. If they do, that would explain why they would be blocking it. Or maybe they're just not blocking it from solely me. Maybe it's from other oracles. Or people looking in, or scryers. They could be setting it up a way to just not spy on Crestwood at all. Something must be happening then.
Could you stay behind? I mean, if you were worried about your safety and them taking you, couldn't you just stay here?
But if it's not about me, if it's about Crestwood specifically, I would not wish to bring any harm down upon it either. I might be able to help there once there. I do not know. I've lived a long life and a well life. If it is me that is targeted, I would not go with regret. If that is all, she'll turn then to whoever else is in the room that would wish her attention.
Yeah.
I read a book about you.
Really?
Yeah. It's about oracles. It was good.
I did not. Well, no, I did know the existence of such books, but I haven't read them. Do tell me of it.
I'll tell her about it.
She actually seems kind of fascinated by it in a way. Like, she's hearing the story of other oracles. It's like, oh, I knew other oracles existed, but that's actually kind of interesting about them. You might be actually having a nerd fit with the two of you going, interesting stuff, notes, things. Data!
Love data. Love it.
Love it. In that then, she even will say similar things, like she'll talk about some of the prophecies. It's kind of like that she's given with Fawn's heart, and like how it actually came true, and how close she had to get and things like that with them, and how she actually found like certain city names or town names or stuff out, and how it actually meshed in. And she doesn't quite talk about the method she uses though. You notice that anytime she hits that, she kind of skirts around it and doesn't really talk about it.
Tess would like to low-key investigate inside the tent, just kind of looking around, seeing if there's anything to notice.
A lot of odd-looking magical things, and by that I mean like odd-looking ingredients that you don't recognize at a glance, because even if you've been in magic stores, you've traveled to magic things, you've seen magicians and whatnot, or mages and what have you. These are some really odd little trinkets and odd little ingredients and stuff that doesn't seem familiar in that sort of way. Like, it's not like any ingredients you've seen before, or bits and baubles. Some of them you recognize that, like, oh, she probably uses this for a symbol to cast from when she's doing this kind of thing. She'll probably use this as a focus. But then there's things like, I don't know what that item is for. Moments like that through it. She seems to have all sorts of different manners of drinks on hand. It's a weird one to explain about that. It's more different drinks, different foods, probably things she herself does not drink or ingest a lot, but for guests, such as you people, you get the feeling then that she kind of expected you ladies to come around at some point, or at least some people do.
Okay.
Do you do any further investigating or poking around than just that? Like, is there anything you want to look at further?
I just want to go up to Tess and like whisper in her ear. She'll know if you steal something before you even think about it.
It's fair.
Duly noted. Thank you. I'm gonna just investigate what she's got, see if there's anything else I can tell from it.
All right. Are you kind of around the group then, or are you kind of like making your way slightly away from them?
I don't want to make it obvious that I'm like, looking for stuff, but I mean, I'll see just what I can see.
All right then. Beyond that, you see some papers, some spell books, things like that. It's an ancient, and here's the weird thing to say about it. It's not just a magic workshop. It's an ancient one. It's been set for a while. There's a bit of dust here, and it's just set up that way that it's just perfect. Like, you can tell if she moves this tent, the stuff doesn't seem to move with it. She doesn't unpack it, pack it, unpack it, pack it. She actually literally probably just unwraps things and away it goes. So, and then you find something that, check the handouts, in all the mess of papers and whatnot, something just jumps out at you with that investigate roll. Something that you really think you need to touch, pick up, look at in the books, like a little bookmark tucked between it. We actually have to open the pages of a book to get to it, but it's something that calls to you.
I guess after looking at it, I just put it down and I just stop what I'm doing and hang out.
She seems to be... Well, no. Langla seems to be kind of keeping an eye on you all, and Lemuel does not seem to be paying any attention to what Tess is doing. She's actually, at this moment, talking to Pat and Lida. So, would you guys like to stop in the tent here for the night, or do you want to head out to the fairground and actually sleep the night for your night? In that case, too,
I thought you meant have a sleepover.
Oh, totally, you can stay in the tent and sleep over with her. She might actually welcome the company, you never know.
I asked her for a sleepover.
She just turns to me and was like, if you'd wish to stay here, you all are more than welcome to. I'm sure it would be comfortable. There are multiple pillows and blankets.
Wow, she really got much nicer.
You didn't barge in. She knew you were coming. She has everything, like... If you were hungry, she actually might have had food out for you.
Well, I don't much care where I sleep, so...
If you guys do wish to sleep here, then, we can call it a night. And in this case, you guys would actually... I haven't been fully tracking a lot of the stuff to a degree, but you probably can... You can level up to level 2 at this point, because I realize we haven't actually been tracking experience or leveling or things like that. But you've done a lot of roleplay, done a lot of tracking for things, you chased down that halfling, and you've discovered this tent and what have you. On to level 2!
So, does the character sheet update everything once you up your level, or no?
I don't think it does. I think it updates a few things, but you still have to go in and actually update things.
Ugh.
Sorry, just for the record, Tess does not stay in that tent.
It doesn't
want to.
Okay. Anyone who stays in the tent, just let me know before next session. Anyone who does not, just... Yeah, same rule.
Alright. I will...
Valia will not be staying in the tent simply because she has other duties to see to. We'll come back in the morning, though.
It seems weird to stay in the tent. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm having a sleepover.
Yeah, you do it. It seems weird to Pat.
Tess will examine that trinket and count how many silvers she got.
Alright, I will send you...
I'm the only one staying the night?